Hey, the Training Camp Showcase Lost episode. This is episode number 6 entitled Enemies. Now, before we get into episode number 6, episode number 5, quick recap. We talked about the weekly ins and outs of the Training Camp Showcase. Walk in, pay your $10, sign the list. Wherever you would sign, that would be your order of performance. We trained. For the most part, we did a lot of training. We worked on business acumen. We worked on professionalism. We worked on the art of creating a great live show. These are the things that we worked on every single week. This episode, entitled Enemies, is really geared towards the big shows. $10,000 giveaways, $5,000 giveaways, hell, even the $1,000 giveaways. And one of the things that stand out in my mind is the manipulation. Brothers would come up to me and say, listen, Praying, I just had a baby. I'm going to give you this $100 registration fee, but she needs diapers, she needs milk, and she needs a pacifier. So Praying, I gotta win, brother. I gotta win. Or Praying, listen, I'm the best in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. I'm the hottest. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't win, this shit is fixed. This shit is rigged. If I don't win, because I am the hottest and my block and the borough says so. That type of mild manipulation, I never really took kindly to that. So every time I would say, take your motherfucking money back, I don't want you in the show. I would struggle to put the money in their fucking hands. And, you know, a lot of times they wouldn't take it, but it was just a limit testing type thing. I remember times when people would sign up to be in my big show, and I would go to Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Jersey. I would go there just to pick up the money. You know what I'm saying? And then I started seeing a habit of people like one case, I'm on Putnam Avenue, and the guy's like, yo, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Come down and get the bread. You know what I'm saying? Just bring me a receipt. So I'm on my way downstairs. I see him, and I'm like, they call back to back to back. What kind of car you in? I said, and there would be, let's say, a burgundy BMW on the block. Just a bad feeling that I would have. So I remember this one time I said, yo, I'm in a burgundy BMW. And of course I had a black BMW. So I would be watching them put on the ski mask, and I'm watching this shit on the phone with them, watching, get the guns out, load the guns, and get ready to ambush me. And of course, I'm not walking out on the block then. You know what I'm saying? So they would be calling me all day long, like, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? It's those type of feelings that created this animosity. And it was like, yo, man, I started to hate the game because I couldn't even go out of my house without that thing now. You know what I mean? And it was a constant thing, like, I'll give away 10,000 or 5,000, whatever the case may be. And the show was legit. I got legit judges. The scoring is done right and exact. And you would lose, because somebody had to lose, and probably 20 people would lose, and one person would win. And then they would charge me with it being rigged. And I'm showing you how you lost, you know what I'm saying, with the numbers, according to the judges. And it would always be like, you're cheating, or your show is rigged. And it created a lot of enemies, even amongst friends, because there was people that would sign up to my show, win an event, win 2,500, turn around, win 1,000. And then the next month they didn't win because the judges were different. And they would say it's rigged. Nigga, you done won 2,500 one hand, $1,000 the next month, and you didn't win. And now the motherfucking shit is rigged. At that point, when that person did that, and you know who you are, you understand? When that person did that, I said, you know what? It's never going to be the same for me. Life is never, ever going to be the same for me, because I'm running this show for 20 some odd years, and it turned friends into enemies. And, you know, what people really didn't know was they're calling me, we're going to murder you. Don't do the show tonight. Don't come outside your house tonight. And they're naming like the block that I'm living on and my door number. And it would get me so crazy that I would be coming out with that thing like in the middle of the night. Somebody, I remember, I'm running outside from the showcase because somebody said they was going to kill me. And I got that thing in my hand right on fucking Avenue A, like, nigga, what? Losing my fucking mind. Losing my mind. And I started to evaluate, like, damn, is this even worth it? Because here my motherfucking kids are calling me Mental Supreme. And I'm putting on for my city. And at that point, it was for the whole East Coast, because they were coming from Georgia, from Florida, from even Canada. Everybody was coming to New York City, the Training Camp Showcase, to rock the fuck out. And it just seemed like it got so stressful, like it was beyond, it wasn't fun anymore. And I was still willing to rock for the sake of the money, because I was given a lot of money. If it wasn't 5,000, 10,000, 1,000, it wasn't that. But when you started charging me for my integrity not being what it was, then it became not fun. Aside from the fact that there was a point when the showcase seemed like one large mixtape. And I was like, yo, niggas is trash. And I don't like this anymore. So I made more enemies than I did friends. But I remember one time, homie of mine, Biggs, before I even knew him, he actually won the show, and he was going against this guy named Phenom, who was almost unbeatable. Biggs actually won the show, you know, and I'm going to tell the story. He actually won the show. Phenom lost. Phenom was incredible. Biggs was incredible. But when I went back and did the scores the next day, Phenom actually won by 1 point. So my integrity, again, has always been in question. So I called up this guy Biggs. At the time I didn't know him. I said, listen, hey, you actually lost the show. You have to give back this $2,500. And most people would have been like, fuck you, eat a dick. You know what I mean? But I went to his block. His manager was like, that thing ready to fucking, well, and it was a big deal. But at the end of the day, this guy Biggs gave me the $2,500 back. And of course, I gave it to the person who won, which was Phenom. That's a clear demonstration of integrity. These are things that happened at the Training Camp Showcase that people didn't even know existed. They had no idea. So Biggs, you don't even notice, but that right there, that act of generosity and integrity kept me in the game probably for another 10 years. We'll be back with episode number 7.